Hi all, welcome to the channel. So today in this video we'll be covering how we can do auto wait in Playwright, or what is the auto wait functionality in Playwright. Also we'll be seeing what if we need to wait explicitly till a element is visible. So I mean, normally, if you're coming from Selenium background or if you have idea of Selenium, in Selenium we do not have any auto-wait capability. So, if there is an element which is taking some time to display on the way your page, in that case you need to handle it using explicit wait, right, or fluent wait. So, but in Playwright we do not need that fluent wait or explicit wait most of the time because Playwright do it automatically. So what I mean by that, let me show you. So if you come to this documentation part, you can see they have clearly mentioned Playwright performs a range of actionability checks on the element before making actions to ensure these actions behave as they expected. So whatever actions we are performing, so what Playwright does internally, it checks different types of actions whether this element is attached to the uh, page, whether the element is visible, whether that element is stable, whether it receives the event or not, something like that. So we can take, for example, click action. So in that also it performs whenever we are doing page dot locator and then dot click. In that case, it actually first check whether that element, that page dot locator element, is attached to the DOM or not, whether that element is visible on the DOM or not, whether it is stable or not. So after that only they will click on it. So if you're trying to click an element which is not actually visible in the web page, then it will throw error, or it will wait for the timeout, and then it will say like we are not able to click, something like that. So similarly, we can see if there is any element like inner text, or let's say we want to capture a text. In that case, you can see it's actually just wait till the element is attached. Okay, so these are the things it is doing. So they have also mentioned the same example, like element is attached to the DOM, element is visible, element is stable, element receives event as in not obscured by other element, right, and element is enabled. So these are the checks Playwright is doing for us automatically when we are doing like page.locator.click. So internally it is doing these things. So let's see some example of auto-wait thing, uh, like when we do not need to use auto-wait or when we need to use a wait, something like that. So I have some website like you can see here. It is AJAX uh, website. So you can see it's if you click on this button, it taking some time. So it says like it will around wait for 15 seconds. After that, it will show some message. So let's wait for the time. So this kind of website, if you try to handle it with Selenium, in that case we cannot directly just click on it and then you just cannot grab this text, right? You have to wait till this element is visible on or whether this element is available on the DOM or not. So we need to check those things dynamically using explicit wait. But in Playwright, actually we do not need those things. So let's see that what we can do. So let's create a page or a Python file. So let's wait it a test auto wait, let's add it, and let me copy this template, and let me get this URL. Okay, now what is this locator, this button locator, right? So let me inspect it, and I can see this is a type of button, and I think get this text, right? So it is easy. So button equals to page dot locator, and what is the locator? Text equals to this, right? Now button dot click. So let's say this button element is actually taking some time to appear on the page. In that case also it will wait. Let's say this page is loaded, okay, but this button element is not there still it's taking some time. In that case also, we do not have to do any kind of extra, we do not have to do anything. Okay, just this will work because this click automatically will wait, wait for this element to be visible on the page. Okay, that's what they have mentioned here, right? So now we have clicked on this button. Now what next? So next is like we will get this message after 15 seconds, right? So we have to inspect it as well. So I wanted to get this text. So what we can do, we can get this class and then p dot big success. So this is matching, right? So this is the text we want to fetch. So we can write like final message, page dot locator, and here is the CSS. Okay, and also we can write like dot inner text. Okay, so this is the final message which we are getting, and let's me remove this. Okay, now final message dot no, we can do the print simply. We can do we can add assert, but we are not doing it for for this test because I wanted to show you this auto thing. So now let me run it. Let's see what happens, right? Okay, let me uh, 1 second. Okay, let me rename this test uh, Ajax, right? Ajax call wait auto wait, something like that. Okay, so now we can do like pytest minus s, and then we can give does headed, and also we can write basics, and it should be test underscore auto wait, right? Auto wait, and after that I can do you need to give anything. uh, there is one method only, right? So we do not need anything for now. So I can just hit enter. Let's see whether that final message is getting displayed or not. So basically it will wait for 15 seconds before this message gets appeared. But see, Playwright will mostly Playwright will handle it automatically. And I will tell you the reason why it's, I mean, how much delay it should take. So you can see the test passed, and let's see the message got displayed or not. It's perfectly displayed this message, data loaded with AJAX GET request. So see, we didn't do anything, right? We didn't have to do any extra line, we did not have to write any extra line of code uh, for this handling this waiting. But for example, actually why it is waiting till that time, because internally this inner text has a wait mechanism. It will wait till this locator is available in this attached to this DOM, right? Once it is attached, it is instantly it is getting visible. That is why the message gets printed. I mean, we are seeing the message. But how much time it is waiting internally? It is actually waiting for 30 seconds. Okay, now let's say I do not want this let's say I can hover over it. You can see there should be a timeout, right? There is a timeout thing. So what if I'm reducing this timeout to 14 seconds? Okay, 14 seconds, not 14, it's 14,000, right? 14,000 millisecond, that's equals to 14 seconds. So let's do that and let's run it. Let's see whether this still passed or failed. So you can see it failed because it's waiting for that selector p.bg success. And the reason we know the timeout is 14 seconds, but whereas this here they have mentioned it will appear after 15 seconds. Okay, so at least we need to wait 15 seconds. So that is why there is a problem. So now in your website maybe there is some AJAX call that is taking more than 30 seconds, right? So in that case you can increase this default timeout to let's say 40 seconds, something like that. Okay, if it is happening in your website or in your page. So in that way you can handle this very easily. And okay, so this is one example we have seen. Let's try some different example now. And let me remove this timeout because we do not need it, because default timeout is enough for us. And let's take this example where we can do um, dynamic loading. This is very simple example. So we can try like element on the page that is hidden. Okay, so it is saying like element on the page that is hidden. So they have mentioned it properly. Like there are two example. One in which the element is already exist on the page, but it is not displayed. So here in this case, the element is there, but it is not displayed. And the second example where they are saying like another where the element is not on the page and gets added in. So after some time it will get added in. Okay, once you click on the start button, you're saying it's loading, but the element is not there, even it is not hidden. Yeah, now it's get added. Okay, but in the first example what is saying, the element is there that is hidden, but it will take some time, after that it should be visible. That's the difference. Okay, let's handle these two things very quickly. Okay, and let's see whether Playwright can handle it or not. So I can just write def taste, one second, let me remove it. Yeah, taste and element hidden, or wait for element hidden element visible, something like that. Page, this one, and simple none. Okay, now page dot go to, and let me copy this URL, and we are doing the first example, right? So it is a hidden one. So now let me um, get the locator of the start button. So we can um, okay, so page dot locator, and here I can write button comma has text equals to start and dot click, right? We are clicking on this button. Now what next? So next is once we click on it, it should display something, right? So let's inspect that. So it's, we can write like has finish and then h4, right? So we get the locator, css locator. So page dot locator, css, and dot inner text, right? And we can directly print it, right? We do not need any variable to store it. It is also fine. So now let's see whether this Playwright can handle this thing or not. Reformat it, and let's copy this part. Okay, so I want to execute just this one method, right? So I can give double colon and the method name. Let's see whether Playwright can handle it or not. You can see it passed because it is able to handle it. So let's see whether the message gets printed. Yes, hello world got printed. Okay, now the second one, right? The second one is bit different, but we will not do any change. Okay, we'll be doing the same thing. We'll just see whether Playwright can handle it or not. So now go to the second one, this one. Let's copy the URL. and let's change something hidden element so it is not hidden now. uh, it is wait for element or what we can write, wait for no element visible. Oh, no, 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 not that. So it is mentioned rendered after the fact. We can copy this part, or render after the fact. Wait for visible, something like that. Okay, test wait for visible. Okay, now reformat it and let me. I think the start button will be same, and this should be also same. I think locator will not be changed. Okay, we can try this one only. So let's just update this method name. So double colon, and the method name is test wait for visible. Right. So what is the difference between one and two? The first one is like hidden one and it's displayed, but the second one is not there yet. I mean, the element which will be the text which are appearing after clicking on the start button is not there in the DOM, so it will be added after some time. Okay, let's see that now. You can see it printed actually, right? So hello world got printed and it passed, so it is able to handle that element as well. So most of the time playwright can handle, right? I mean I actually I haven't seen a place like it's failing. It's still it's taking some time in this way. It's failing even like for example the element is getting visible within 30 seconds, right? So if there is something like let's say this inner text, we are printing this inner text, right? So you can see here it says that it's actually wait for this element to be attached only, right? So here is the inner text, or we can see this text content. Both are same. I mean both are not same, but there is a bit difference that I have explained already in a separate video. You can watch it. That would be available in my playwright playwright playlist. But in simple word the difference would be like inner text will capture the visible text, whereas text count is capturing the hidden text as well. So that's the simple difference. Okay, now what I'm saying, like this inner text or inner HTML, whatever these values, they are not actually checking whether the element is visible or not. So if some element is getting attached to the DOM but it's not still available or not still visible in the, I mean what I mean by what, it's not still visible in the UI, in that case our this wait mechanism, this inner text will be failing. Okay, in that case it will not work. So in that case you have to forcefully use some wait statement. You have to give some wait statement. So that would be like what we can do in that case. So page dot locator, this is the locator, right? So first we have to like we can write like result equals to something like that. So this is my locator which I want to, it is dynamically loading. Sometimes it takes in 3 seconds time, sometimes it is 4 seconds times. Okay, so in that case what we can do uh, like results and results dot wait for. So there is a method called wait for, right? So wait for, now if I hover over it, you can see it's saying like there is a timeout option is available. Also there is a state option is available that I'll be discussing in a separate video. State options like attached, deattached, hidden, visible. Okay, there is separate state available. So if we are not giving any state, okay, default would be visible. Okay, we can also check this in documentation also. So locator dot wait for. So you can see wait for element to be present in the DOM. That is the attached state. Now deattached is like wait for element not to be present in the DOM. Then again there is a visible and there is a hidden, right? So this visible option would be default value. So this is the default option. They have mentioned I think somewhere. And also the default timeout is 30 seconds. Okay. So if you are not giving anything, it will actually wait for the element to be visible. that's the simple thing. Okay, so we can do this thing, and we can mention the timeout as well. So here we can mention the timeout, like if this is taking maybe 60 seconds time, so we can give 60,000 milliseconds, something like that. And after that it should now pass. But actually I do not have any some similar kind of website where I can show you this thing. But definitely it will work if you are facing any issue where you need to give some wait before, I mean, getting this inner text, because it's taking more time, and the element is still not visible, but it is attached to the DOM. Okay, so I hope you have understood what is auto wait and how we can do uh, explicitly give, like what if we need to wait explicitly till the element is visible, something like that. We can also try with this. So okay, so please like, share, and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye bye.